Hi everyone, Agnes here, and this is part 3 in this little series of 5 parts. Now today it is for those of you that would like to manifest or create your dream job or meaningful work. What I'm going to do is go through the exact 4 steps to help you with more pinpointed manifesting, and then after that I'm going to give you an example of how to apply this to the subject of meaningful work or your dream job. Now, the 4 steps. Now you can choose to do these steps with me and just pause the audio and take a little bit of time to do some writing in between. Now, number 1 is clarity. The universe loves clarity. So if you can write down exactly what it is that you want in this new meaningful work of yours, it might be that you look at what you have today. This is one of the best ways I find to get clear. Look at where you are today and really look at the things you don't want. As in, for example, you don't like the distance you have to travel to work, so you are clear that you would like to work closer to home or from home. If you don't like the amount of people around you at work and you've got noisy colleagues and people that are constantly interrupting you, then you might get clear about that you would like to work in a uninterrupted place with maybe less people or people that respect your space. So just go through, use what you've got right now and the don't likes and the don't wants that you have to get clear about what you do want. I remember when I was doing this exercise, I wanted to wake up naturally. I really disliked waking up with an alarm clock. So my desire was to wake up naturally without that sound in the morning. I also remember that I was moving around to different locations, and in the beginning I really liked that for my work, but in the end it was very tiring, always having to look up the next place and use the Google Maps and not really know exactly where I was going. So those sorts of things made it clear for me that I wanted to work from home. So using those examples, look at where you are today, look at what you have today, write down the things that you don't like first, and then you can flip those to help you for the clarity. Okay? Step number 2. Imagine. So what you're going to do is what you've written down in your step number 1, what you got really clear about, you're going to use that to build your imaginal scene. Now, just a short scene, doesn't have to be long, but it will include the things that you'd be doing and the things that you'd be enjoying. Now, if that's working in a quiet place because you've worked in a noisy place, then you add that into your imaginal scene. If you have been sitting down a lot for work and you really want to move around, well, then you would include being on the go. Or if you've worked inside and you'd really like to work outside, you would include that. So get really clear using your step 1. I would pick, say, 3 things that you really, really want from your step 1 and make your imaginal scene using those 3 things. And what you do is you do it on a loop and then you let it go. You do it on a loop and you let go. Okay? Now, at the end of going through these 4 steps, I will take you through an example. Number 3, gratitude that you have it. So you say, I am so happy and grateful that I now have the best work I've ever had, or the most meaningful job I've ever experienced, or I so love going to my job, or I absolutely adore the like-minded people I work with, or I love the location and the amazing environment that I can have my lunch at. I love that I can get home quickly and that I'm going against the traffic, something like that. So you write down everything you're grateful for. And then you can use those sentences as affirmations that you can do at any time. And I would suggest you do those about 4 to 5 days a week if you're really, really desiring something more meaningful and you're really unhappy where you are in your current employment. Number 4, surrender and trust. So once we go through these 4 steps and you get clear, you've created the imaginal scene, and you've got your affirmations of gratitude, then the next step is the surrender and trust. So you can say, I surrender, I let go, and I trust. And you can do that with the breath. I find that's a really nice way to do it. You just sit somewhere comfortably and close your eyes, and you think about the subject, which in this case is meaningful work, and you say, I surrender, I let go, and I trust. And then you do it with the breath. So you breathe in, I surrender, I let go, and I trust. And you breathe out. So use that anytime you start getting a bit preoccupied, anxious, feeling the impatience, feeling trapped at work, feeling like, am I ever going to get out of here? Am I ever going to have a job that I love? When all that starts, and it's easy to do when you're not happy in your work, it's to practice moving through that feeling, okay? Because hanging on to it just tightens the straitjacket, so to speak. Now, I'm going to give you an example now, and as if I was doing this exercise, to just give you a little snapshot into how I would do it if I was doing it today. So, getting clear about what I want. I want to work from home. I want to be alone when I work. I want to be able to take 2 or 3 hours off in the middle of the day and have a break from the computer. I want to be able to incorporate meditation into my day, eating well, having a fresh juice, and being able to exercise, and to just, if need be, have some time to talk to somebody in my family or my friends if the need arises, that there is that flexibility. And also to wake up without an alarm clock and to really have varied tasks in my work, some of them being creative and fun, and that I really don't have to do the same thing every single day. I also would like to earn X amount of dollars per week or per month, whatever is, more believable to you, depending on what country you're in and how the systems of pay work there. Now, so there's all the clarity. Then we go into number 2 and we pick out 3 things. Number 2 being creating the imaginal scene. So the 3 things I'm going to pick from the clarity that I've now got, I'm going to pick number 1, waking up without an alarm clock. Number 2, being able to exercise whenever I want during the day. And number 3, doing fun, creative tasks at the computer and working from home in the silence. So what you do now is you go, there's my 3 things, and that's the imaginal scene. So I would start with the imaginal scene. I'm laying in bed. I open my eyes. I'm starting to hatch. I'm a slow hatcher, so I'm looking out the window. And I feel such immense gratitude to wake up naturally. What a gift. What a blessing. What an amazing thing to wake up when you want and just without hearing that sound. That is a real gift. And when you imagine it, you just think, oh, that feels so good to start the day that way. The second part of the imaginal scene would be wanting to exercise during the day. So it's about seeing myself on my little weight bench. I'm doing my weights. I feel so thrilled that I can stop during the day when it suits me and get up from the office chair and be able to do the weights, the arm weights, and to be able to do my eye exercises, as that's part of the routine of self-care and self-love. Now, the third and final one is creative fun tasks. So as part of the imaginal scene, I would go into the third bit where I imagine sitting at the computer. Perhaps I'm using Canva. Perhaps I'm looking at photographs for thumbnails. Perhaps I'm designing something with beautiful fonts and colors. And I love doing that. So I imagine I'm doing that and how much fun it is and how much I enjoy the different parts of my work. So that's very simple, and what I do is I run through those three things again and again on a loop, just going from the first thing to the second thing to the third thing. And then I do it again, and I do it about half a dozen times. Now, I've done that, and I do that before I go to bed every night for 5-10 minutes at the most. And that's that bit done. Now we go into part number 3, or the third step, which is gratitude. And you go through your statements that you've written. And you say them to yourself, and they're very specific to the type of meaningful work that you desire. So you can write your own, and you can incorporate some of the things, again, that you got clear about in step 1, and you custom make it just for you, and you do those 4 to 5 days a week. You run through your statements maybe once or twice a day if you can spare the time, or you make the time. Number 4, then you sit in the chair and you say, after you breathe in, you do your breathing in, I surrender, I let go, and trust, and breathe out. And you do that half a dozen times, and you let it go. For now, that is enough. It is done. So that's the little process today, and it is very simple, very short, very tight. And for those of you that might not know, there is a whole Dream Job Meaningful Work playlist on the main channel for those of you that would like to explore a bit more. And also on the meditation channel, there are some Dream Job Meaningful Work meditations for you to follow as well. So that's it for today, everyone, and I will see you soon for part 4. Lots of love.